Mornings at the Cabin on your Wednesday morning. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter with you. Recorded. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not Wednesday morning. It's Tuesday evening, late.
It's almost Wednesday morning.
It's almost Wednesday morning. We are 12 minutes away from Wednesday morning. And with that, 12 minutes away from Adam Vivian's birthday. So president of Cabin Radio, or director, I should say, of Cabin Radio. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Viv.
Happy 38th birthday, bud.
38?
Yeah. I know. He's a couple of months older than me. I'm turning 38 in December.
Are you?
I am.
Crikey.
And I know I don't look it. I don't sound it.
No, you should.
And I don't act it.
Neither of you do.
That's right. Thank you. Well, I think he does a little bit more. I mean, he's got 2 kids.
Yeah, but aside from that.
Yeah, I mean, 2 kids in a house. You know, I mean, he's
got his stuff together.
He's got his poop in a group. Myself, I'm living in a rented house that will probably be sold by the end of the year. So here we are.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
We had a wonderful time last night. Thank you to everybody who invited us kind of into their homes on the Facebook stream, but also to the candidates who chatted with us, who allowed us to kind of invade their celebrations, but also their evenings. So that was really, really nice, and we had a wonderful time, and can't wait to do it again. What, a couple weeks? Let's do it.
You know what? I can wait.
You can wait?
I can wait.
This is a lot, man.
We could use a few more than a couple weeks.
And the funniest parts were just like, we'd have 4 or 5 minute segments, and then at the end of 5 minutes, when I've reached my 7th or 8th question, and then Ollie's just like in my earpiece, hose. And I'm just like, okay, all right, let's keep going. And I mean, there was obviously a marked shift if you go back and watch the video between the beginnings of it when we were asking pretty silly questions. We were kind of being the antithesis of other coverage, which was great, which I love. But as the winners start to come, as we start announcing winners, it's got to be more like, we can still be silly, we can keep that energy up, but at the same time, it's like, you got the job. What now? What do you do now?
No more jokes.
No more jokes.
It's time for serious,
deadly, serious work.
Yeah.
So a lot of, the sentiment that went around our crew is, what a wacky election it was, man. I mean,
I think that's undeniable, really.
History in the making.
My God.
9 women elected MLA across the territory, 4 in Yellowknife alone, and a youth movement. Again, that was the thing. That was the theme that kept popping up last night, was this youth movement. You got Caroline Wozniak, you've got Katrina Knockleby, Ryland Johnson, some young heavy hitters. People under 50 are young. when it comes to territorial government, and when it comes to politics. And that's really exciting to see. And Ryland is incredibly passionate. You saw it last night, and you're going to continue to see it as he takes his office. And I'm excited to see what happens. Yeah. And kind of some youth representation in there. And he said he's the youngest in the entire thing. Was he, though? I thought Lisa was younger.
I think it's pretty close.
It's pretty close.
I don't actually know for sure. The one thing I would say is we don't actually know for sure if Ryland's in or not yet.
That's right. We're going into recount territory. He won by 5. He got the check mark, but from what I heard, they actually did a recount on the last poll because it was too close. So they've recounted that one. They'll probably have to recount the other one. Another recount, obviously, for Frame Lake as well. Kevin O'Reilly just beating Dave Ramsey, and that was a really interesting one as well. It was a surprising result because Dave coming back after a bit of a hiatus, and two guys that are on a very big issue, which is development in the North, are kind of opposing each other really well.
Yeah.
So
it was. I think the most amazing thing for me was just how close so many of the races were.
So many,
10, 20 votes, even 30 votes. Even Julie Green won by a comparatively healthy margin of about 30 votes.
Yeah.
And you're like, geez, that's like one evening of door knocking.
Yeah, that's right. And Carolyn Cochran barely beating Huey Graham, a big showing for Huey. Yeah. And that was surprising. Obviously a kind of a rookie to the fold. So, that was interesting to see.
It must hurt. It does hurt
to get
crazy.
That close.
To, as you say, to launch a campaign, whether you're Huey or whether you're anybody. There's a whole bunch of people who tried really hard and got, Arlene Hache would be an example in the Yellowknife Centre, right? Got within 30 votes of Julie Green. Yeah. And that was her 5th try of being an MLA. Yeah. And she got within 30 votes, which, like I say, is just...
It's right there.
That's 15 people who, on another day, if they'd gone the other way, it would have been a totally different vote.
Absolutely.
And so... it must be so painful to get to the end of an evening like this. Like, we're full of adrenaline because we're just enjoyed the process of reporting on all
That's
this.
right.
But to have got to the end of the evening and now look at it, it'd be like, you're telling me 18 people? Like, if I'd got 10 people who voted for that person to vote for me instead, I'd be the MLA now?
Yeah.
At each party we went to, there were 30 people plus.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, those people, right? If you didn't get them, then there it is. Another very, I mean, not as close, but another surprising result was Cam Lake, Caitlin Cleveland, right out of the gate, rookie, and taking it from Kieran Testart, who had his shot.
Yeah.
And you know, he got his 4 years and is out after one term, and that's got to hurt.
And another veteran MLA and Robert Hawkins beating him out too. Like,
that's right. Yeah, even the Hawk coming back and getting more votes than him. And I don't want to speculate. I was wondering if the party politics thing had something to do with that, but I guess don't want to speculate too much. But
I mean, it could speak to all of these races can speak to so many things.
That's
what
right.
the results ended up being. It is hard to say. Narrow down to one or two things that these kind of indicate. But at the end of the day, it's obviously a little small consolation to the ones that did lose, especially the ones that lost close, because you still lost. But it's got to be kind of encouraging in a way to see such an interesting race, like so many districts where it was, within, even from first to third, within like 40 votes.
Yeah.
It's, it was a crazy night.
And my district is Yellowknife North. I mean, I can't vote. I don't have the legal right as a permanent resident, but watching the results come in and being like, you're telling me, like, Jan Vallely got like almost 400 votes.
Yeah.
That district came out in
Big
force
turnout.
for all three candidates.
And I'm very interested to see what the numbers will be for turnouts. Last election, what was it, 44% or something like that? It was a pretty low number for turnout. So we're hoping obviously to get over 50%. But I mean, a lot of numbers in Yellowknife North for sure.
It'll be interesting to see what the turnout was like.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast, where we delete all the bad bits and make them sound at least semi-coherent.
Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter with you on your Wednesday morning with Sarah along as well. Sarah, you're a woman.
It's the token woman in this conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is the only reason you're here.
Percentage-wise, there are more women in the legislature than there are in cabinet.
That's absolutely right.
You couldn't say that before yesterday.
Last night, nine women elected to the ledge out of 19. The highest percentage in the entire country as a woman. Which is not how you're supposed to preface anything. What was last night like for you? Exciting, obviously, but I mean, like, how was your night? Exciting, obviously. Whether you agree with their policies or not, women.
Excited.
Right.
On behalf of your gender, how did you find
Could you speak for everyone with a uterus right now? Just tell us what's going on. No.
Okay, well, now I feel like I have to say that you don't have to have a uterus to be a woman.
That's right. You're right.
Good point.
Right. Absolutely.
It was really cool last night. I was sitting in Studio 2 with Emily, and we were writing all the stories, and I feel like we were just barely keeping up with everything that was going on. But we had two interns sitting out in the main reception area, Alice and Crystal, and we would be checking in with them throughout the night. And we're like, okay, so like there's 4 men, right? And they're like, yep, and they had a list, and it was just so cool to hear these two teenagers throughout the night get more and more excited. Okay, now there's 5, now there's 6, 7, 8, 9.
That's awesome. I hadn't even thought about that.
That's right.
For Crystal and Alice.
Yeah, and you
they can't even vote.
And Crystal was a youth MLA. So she went into youth parliament earlier this year, which is where I heard her speak and went up to her parents afterwards and said, look, Crystal was really good in that. Is there any chance she wants to come and be an intern for Cabin Radio?
Yeah.
Which is why she's here. And so I hadn't even made that connection.
Yeah.
That she and Alice would have been sat there watching this, being like, holy heck, look, our territory's actually finally putting women into office.
Yep.
Yeah, and so it was like, I looked at the clock, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like 10 o'clock, it's a school night, like, they need to go home.
That's right.
But they were just getting more and more excited, like, they didn't want to leave, and so for me, I'm sure I was trying to process all of the information as it was coming in, but just listening to their excitement was, I think, the coolest part for me.
Awesome.
Not even that, all these women were getting elected, but seeing these like 16, 17-year-olds be so excited about that.
Classic cabin interns, just getting wild, staying out late, watching election results
on a school night. and for Alice, a double school night because she's doing 11 and 12 together.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Oh, Alice.
None of her credits from last year counted.
Of course not. She goes to Argentina for a year. Learns to educates herself in an entirely new language. Still goes to school in that language.
No credits for that.
No.
What did she say? She gets like a special she gets like calm hours for.
Well, we're giving them calm hours for being here tonight, right?
Oh wow, lucky them! You're in Argentina, and they might get some calm hours.
Can you imagine going to another country, learning another language, and coming back to the school, and the school is just like, nah, take 11 and 12 together,
and then coming and working for an online radio station and getting the same credit.
That's right. As you got for going to Argentina for a year.
Canada's a funny country.
You know what?
Isn't
YK1, maybe take a look at it. If someone goes away for a year, maybe give them some credit for it.
If any of you listening are about to become the education minister, and let's face it, there's a few of you out there to whom that might apply, sort that out, will you?
Sort that out. If someone's going away for a year, for goodness sake, give them credit.
It's not like she went on a beach in the Bahamas for a year. She went to Argentina, learned the language, and went to school in another language.
That's right.
I mean, I love the amount of credit it seems to give us.
That's right.
But it is a little
credit.
Yeah, that's right.
He gave her more calm hours than Argentina.
She's going to graduate because of us, not because of Argentina.
But I do like how the Alice, we've completely digressed here, but I do like how the Alice approach is to just do them both at once.
Yeah, well, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that was the first thing I talked to her about it, and it was like, does any of that's transfer? And she said no, and I was like, well, what are you going to do? And she said, I'm just going to do them both at the same time. I'm like, all right. Because she's probably got most of her credits anyway. She seems like the person that would kind of work forward or work ahead.
I wonder if they let them, what's the word when you contest the exam or something? Just write the
departmental. Yeah.
Yeah, you just skip the coursework.
That's right.
You get a good enough mark on the exam. Then
that's how it should be anyway.
So Alice Twa for Premier what year? Now, what is she now? 17. So let's give it to at least 25. Live life a little bit.
Yeah, 2032.
2027.
2027?
Yeah.
Is that one of the years? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what was so cool about last night is that Julie Green said they wanted to have six MLAs in the territory by 2027.
Yeah.
2019, 9.
Yeah.
So they are well. I was going to make a climate change joke when she mentioned that. It was like, so just like climate change, you're well ahead of the curve. I did make that joke.
Your restraint is admirable.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that is absolutely crazy. 9.
Yeah.
It's so good to see that ahead of schedule. And I just wanted to say, it's one of the few examples where you can point to something like a policy put in place, a sort of a concerted effort to do something, and immediately point to the result.
Yeah.
Here we had a group of people who put together a campaign school for women. There were various initiatives to get more women feeling as though they could run for office and that it was possible to do it.
Yeah.
And like that from a basis of only having 2 female MLAs. So there was no evidence that it was going to work. Yeah. Just people with the conviction to say, we can do this.
Yeah.
And immediately we can now point at that and say, well, that absolutely delivered.
Yeah. Caitlin Cleveland mentioned that directly when I asked her about how excited are you about this and how does this feel, and she's like, I just want to thank Julie Green for putting it out there and like inspiring me to run, basically. So I mean that was very cool.
I was gonna say, okay, so 5 in Yellowknife, 2 in Inuvik, 1 in the Sawtooth, 1 in Fort Smith.
Oh, I said 4. Pardon me.
We'll go back and count that. Who have we got in Yellowknife? Let's all count on the air. Grace Lake, Katrina Knockleby.
Yeah, Katrina Knockleby, Caroline Wozniak, and Julie Green.
Julie.
4. Yeah.
And Caitlin Cleveland.
I know 5.
There we go. Okay, we all got there. It's a team
5 out of 7.
Hey.
How many men does it take to count them?
Scenes on the cabin.
They bought it. Incredible. One of the worst performances of my career. They never doubted it for a second. How could I possibly be expected to handle school on a day like this? This is my 9th sick day this semester. It's tough coming up with new illnesses. If I go for 10, I'll have to barf up a lung, so I better make this one count. The key to faking out the parents is the clammy hands. It's a good, non-specific symptom. I'm a big believer in it. A lot of people will tell you that a good phony fever is a deadlock. But if you get a nervous mother, you could wind up in a doctor's office, and that's worse than school. You fake a stomach cramp. When you're bent over, moaning and wailing, you lick your palms. It's childish and stupid, but then, so was high school.
Scenes from the cabin.
Know the movie? Submit your guess to mailbox@cabinradio.ca or send us a message on Facebook for your chance to win gift certificates to some awesome Yellowknife restaurants, including the Monkey Tree Pub and Steak Restaurant, the Woodyard Brewhouse and Eatery, Flavor Trader, Copperhouse Eatery and Lounge, or Javaroma. Listen to Cabin Radio every weekday to win, or download the Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Mornings at the Cabin, hour number 2 of MATCwheeler and Lecture with you. Not really with you on your Wednesday morning. We're asleep. Right now.
We're always with you.
We're with you in spirit. We're very spiritual people. But we are not here. This is a recording. We're recording this right now. It's 12:14 a.m. And you usually get up around 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm taking the morning off and the morning off at my other job. So.
And well-deserved, my friend. I must say.
Good. We had a great time. A great team, and it was a ton of fun. And one of the things I did like a lot is that obviously CBC was all over the place as well.
Yeah.
And we got there at the same time, before, after, at times, as to them. And we managed to snake a couple interviews from them before they got a chance to get to them. Ryland Johnson being chief among them. We were right there as they won. A lot of celebration, and I was like, before we knew the results, I was like, regardless of what happens, you're talking to us first. And he's like, all right, and we're just gonna come over and grab you. By the way, so we did. We grabbed him, and we got out ahead of CBC at a couple of things. Which is, this is a friendly rivalry. It really is. We love the people over at CBC. We call Lauren Uncle Lauren, for goodness sake.
Yeah,
we're all buddies.
Yeah,
and
worked with several people that work there.
Exactly
now.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the things I did like doing a couple of times, and there's a couple of still shots from a couple of celebration parties where you can prominently see Cabin Radio staff in the background, is that I strategically placed myself in some of those shots where I was just like, here's my hat. There we are.
You rascal.
I am a rascal.
My God.
I've never said I wasn't.
That is true.
I've never claimed to not be a rascal.
Yeah.
And I will accept the claim that I'm a rascal from you.
Fair enough.
So there you go.
Rascal for life.
That's right. R4L. I am a rascal for life. That's right. A little rascal. Alfalfa.
I have to give, while Ollie's not in the room,
Yes.
Sorry to cut you off, I have to give you props. Absolute props for last night, which is right now in our current time.
It is.
But if you're listening,
we're traveling back in time.
I'm losing track. I'm so tired.
I almost swear just now. That's how tired.
Which is even more of a testament to the job you did last night. I don't know how you are still functioning.
It's slowly wearing off.
But not only were we, out all night, obviously worked all day before that, up early in the morning, out all night covering the election right until the final one. And we still don't know. Like you said, there's going to be a recount in Yellowknife North. So we anticipate Ryland Johnson being named the winner of that district, but we still don't know for sure. I kind of got the sense that by the end of the night, they just put a check mark by his name.
Screw it. We got to go to bed.
We got to go to bed. Yeah.
We'll talk to you guys in the morning.
We'll deal with this tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you absolutely killed it, my friend, doing those on location candidate interviews. You handled a couple of the defeated candidates with grace. You were right there, like riding the energy with those who had just won. It had just been announced that they had been acclaimed. And then before that, having fun with Niels Conga, and before the results started coming
Niels
in.
Conga.
I thought I hit it that time.
No, you hit the hard G.
Conga.
Oh, King Conga.
King Conga.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. I think we got it now. But obviously Ollie did a great job. He set this whole thing up. Ollie is in a class all to his own, so we don't make comparisons to Ollie. He obviously did his thing, but I just wanted to say you did such an amazing job, and job well done, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, man. It was we had a lot of fun. That was the thing. It's fun to do those things.
Yeah.
What the thing is now, and Ollie mentioned it earlier, is that now that people know we can do it, and we're gonna have to do it.
Oh, we have to do it again now. Oh,
every election.
I didn't think of that.
It's a lot. It was a ton of fun. And all those questions were just kind of coming from kind of the flow of things. And once we started off really silly, and then once they start presenting winners, you know, you ask them what they're going to do, because I actually, you know, I care. Like, I mean, we're there to be silly, we're there to have a little fun, but I mean, at the same time, you know, I voted, I live here, I want to know what they're going to do, I want to know what they're going to bring to the table. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see what this government can do. So that was a big part of it, and it was such a fantastic time. So thank you to everybody who checked in. We had over 700 comments. 5,000 views, 200 other engagements. We had at one point, I think, 600 people watching the stream or something like that. So I mean, thank you to all the support, and thank you to the candidates who talked to us and like even said like, thank you for what you're doing. Like, this is great. And I mean, the support that we get, again, it just keeps coming back around and around and around, and it's been wonderful. So I mean, being there for people's success, but also their failures. Not their failures. It's not really a failure, but there has to be a winner and a loser in democracy, I guess. But to be there at their lower points too, it's all good. You know what I mean? It's all in there of service of the community. And that's what we're here to do. And so it was a lot of fun, and it was. I even mentioned it after we left Copper House. It's gut wrenching, man, because I'm just like, I'm, you know, sitting there. I'm like, you're trying to think of questions, and you want to sound intelligent. You don't want to look too stupid, even though that's kind of my forte.
I think that's more of my forte.
But looking the fool, though, like, you know, putting myself in situations where I can be the butt of the joke is kind of where I like to be. So it was nice to kind of have put on the other hat and do the other thing. So.
Well, good job, you butt.
You butt for. I almost swore again. I went with a hard F there.
All right, we got to wrap this up and get out of here.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to do one more. We'll come back for one more, and then we're going to go back to bed.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
I hope you all had a wonderful night last night, and I hope you have a wonderful morning this morning. Obviously, a really exciting night for us, but an exciting night for the territory and for Yellowknife. I mean, I think there's a lot of things to be really, really, excited about, and obviously a lot of history being made last night, and I guess we'll see how it all unfolds. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who have opinions on it, and
there always are.
You know what? I don't want to hear.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear.
Well, you're gonna.
Probably we will. So, but that's the democratic process. People vote, people win, people lose. That's how it goes. Gonna have some recounts, but that's fine. We'll find out over the next few days if those are going to be upheld or if they'll be flippy floppy. I mean, it's been a wacky election, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some flip flop. But right now, it looks like we've got a historic legislative assembly. Even if one of them gets overturned, we're still going to have a historic legislative assembly. So, I mean, that's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's looking forward to a bit more of a diverse voice coming out of the territorial government. And hopefully they'll have a plan past 2030 by the end of next year.
We also have some historic gift certificates to give away.
We do!
Because, of course, if you were following Cabin Radio's territorial election coverage, you know it was brought to you by Boston Pizza.
Thank you to Boston Pizza.
And they had gift certificates for free pizza and wings up for grabs. So we will be giving those away probably a little bit later on this morning on Facebook. Thank you to everyone who entered. Thank you to everyone who watched our coverage.
And commented.
Probably exceeded what we expected. So that's a bit overwhelming and flattering at the same time.
Absolutely.
But a huge thank you to everyone who followed our coverage and sent us, kind messages and, cheered us on. And, of course, went for that pizza and wings.
One of those comments, a couple comments headed my way, so that was nice. One of them saying, Jesse doing just fine.
That's all you can ask for.
Very encouraged. Jesse's doing fine. Thank you. I appreciate it. But for a person with no broadcasting experience, fine is
you are doing just fine. I happen to agree with that person.
I did want to send a shout out this morning to a friend of the show and one of our hosts, Des Loreen.
Yes.
He didn't come to the result that he wanted, and he posted on Facebook like last night. What do I do? What? So what now?
Yeah.
He's still a city councilor.
Yep.
And he has his own wrestling promotion.
Yeah.
And Chris Jericho gave him a shout out.
Yeah.
You're doing good, bud.
You got some stuff
Your
going on.
Your plate is just fine, brother.
And the Destro Show gets to come back.
The Destro Show does get to come back. None of this conflict of interest nonsense. That's right.
So that's
exciting. A little bit more freedom, Des, and that's what we love about you, man. You say what you want, and you got some freedom in you. So we love Des, and I mean, it's unfortunate that he didn't get the result that he wanted, but here we go. We get to have him back on the show, and we look forward to when he's back in town. We would love to get up to you, Inuvik, for the show. It's like $4,000 for two people to get up to Inuvik and back. Like it's nuts. I should have asked some of the candidates last night about that. It's like, listen, we're trying to get into Inuvik for
Can you help
us out about plane ticket prices? Because that's ludicrous.
And that's an immediate issue.
That's right.
Resolved.
You need to get on that. That's like November 4th. You're gonna elect a premier, and then after that, figure out these plane tickets. For goodness sake. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Back to sleep for us. We'll talk to you guys on Thursday morning, which is tomorrow. You gonna go do trivia tonight? What are you doing?
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. I don't know.
So tired.
Very tired.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.